Hey everybody, it's your friendly neighborhood DJ Jazz Hands here with Rod, and I work at 89.5 The Wave, KCFV, Ferguson. And Rod, where do you work?
Rod Wilbon from the Florissant Valley Forum Newspaper. And
we were lucky enough to get the opportunity to go to the theater and sit down and watch the English dub of Digimon Adventures Tri, which, if you don't know what Digimon is, or if you don't know what Adventures Tri is, check it out, because it's pretty awesome. I don't want to spoil anything too much, but it's really cool. Check it out. Adventures Tri is the newest series, or the newest set in the Digimon series, and we got to sit down and check out the English dub firsthand. So, what did you think of the film?
First of all, the film was great. It's very nostalgic for me. Brought back all the Digimon heebie-jeebies and let's go, the teamwork, the everything. But we're going to break it down into segments so you'll know what we're talking about.
Yeah, segments. But kind of going off what you said, you know, for me, it was nostalgic. It was amazing. It was cool to see up on the big screen again, Digimon, the thing that I grew up with, back. And so let's break that down into segments. The animation.
The animation was great. It's the best thing since the 2000 movie, and you can see that they really worked hard with the pencils, and it's actually genuine Japanese animation.
Yeah, I thought, I really liked the animation in this film, and it was definitely an update. It does look a little different than the first movie. If you've ever seen the first Digimon movie in theaters, it does look a little bit different, but it still has this cool, unique, crisp feel to it, where the other one I felt, and it might just be because it's older, a little bit more grainy.
Yeah.
Even in the movie, it just felt a little bit more grainy, where this one felt smooth. Everything was nice and crisp, and the animation was completely beautiful.
Yeah.
Completely beautiful. But the animation was only half of it. Now the story.
The story is where it's at. The story.
Yeah.
We don't even know where the story is fully going yet.
No, it's still ongoing. The series is, I believe, it's going to come out in Japan, at least with its third installment in the series, and 2 should be coming out at some point soon. But 1 is kind of what we got. But the overall story, we don't know where it's going, but it's still it had that Digimon feel to it, but in a more, and this is where some of the problems I had with the film kind of came into play, because it felt very genuine to the old Digimon feel. But they also tried to make it more grown up, which necessarily isn't a bad thing, but the way they did it was they kind of bounced back and forth between the stuff we knew as kids and then trying to be more mature, and it kind of got, for me at least, I felt a little bit mixed in the messages at certain points of what maturity factor is this supposed to be for, you know?
For me, yeah, I understand what you're saying with that. For me, they do introduce the characters as, oh, here's this nostalgic, the way they used to communicate with each other, the way they used to interact with each other back when they were preteens. But now we're on the edge of completing high school, and here's our interaction now with each other. It's changed, and in the story, they notice that it's changed too. So that they're trying to define each other's roles also between each other.
Yeah, kind of find that middle ground, and it's really somewhat like a slice of life kind of thing, because it's these characters that we knew as little kids, and they've grown up and kind of dealing with what happens when a group of kids who you've known forever grow up and start splitting up and start becoming adults and making new friends and going on their way, and their ideals change from when they were kids. So that's one thing that I actually really did like about the story. Did it dwell on the adulthood and the fact that they're changing or reuniting back together and becoming a team again a little bit too much? I kind of thought so. It could have used a little bit more action in my mind. I kind of got bored at the midway part after the first big fight and the last big fight.
Yeah, I definitely. Well, yeah, I definitely got bored in the middle because, like you said, they really went they went more past the reunion to more, like you said, a slice of life. And then the everyday functions. Like, we didn't need the everyday functions. We just need, hey, what are they doing today?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, exactly. And for me, it was kind of one of those things where it was nice to see some of that stuff, but like I said, it got very kind of boring at certain points. And just the crew coming together again was nice, but it still, I felt, needed a little bit more action and a little less of, well, let's have these characters sit down and eat lunch together. Granted, with this one, I could tell instead of the first set, the Sunday morning cartoons back when Digimon first came on, I still remember that. It's clearly more of a character-driven show, more so than these kids coming to a Digimon and then a random event happens after random event after random event. So, character-wise, it is more heavily character-driven, which is nice to see because as adults we like that kind of stuff. But they could have had a little bit more action skewed throughout the entire film and kind of spiced it up a little bit. Now, what do you think of the casting?
Casting, before we get to casting though.
Okay. Yeah, we gotta.
I have to touch on. I've never seen an anime where the lighting scenes for any fight scene was actually dark when it wasn't night.
Yeah.
That confused me. Like, I said, no, there's no way this scene should be dark. And to the fact, I even went to see the Japanese version, and that entire fight scene, the lighting is in the daytime. So, and you can see the fight scenes really crisp, really clear. They're even better. I was more enjoyed with it than in this English version. For some reason, they decided to go with a dark scene.
Yeah, I'll agree with that. Like, the Japanese one, because I got to see it before this in Japanese, and the lighting at that one scene, the airport fighting scene,
Right.
and it's such a shame because in that airport fight scene, they have really cool...
So great.
They have really cool, unique angles, like a shot inside the airport looking out as these monsters are fighting each other, and it's like you're a person sitting there watching it, and it's like, well, this would be creepy. It's almost like that Godzilla that came out a couple years ago, it was like that, and it's such a creepy scene. It's so interesting. It's so cool to see. And when we got to see it in theaters, and granted, it might have been the theaters' fault a little bit, just the lighting, or maybe they made it a lot darker in the English, but it was just so dark you couldn't see anything except maybe like a couple blasts and like a flash of a leg or something like that. So, but yeah, I agree. That was the one part that. It's like,
I don't know. Maybe they were trying to go with a more dramatic feel for Americans or something like that.
Yeah.
But that just bothered me. I was confused by that.
Yeah, I understand that. But kind of back on track, what do you think of the voice cast?
Voice cast was excellent because they brought back 90% of the cast from the show.
Yeah.
And also the Digimon movie in 2000. So
yeah, they brought back a lot of the old cast, which we liked, and even some of the newcomers didn't do a bad job at portraying the characters. Like the one woman who played Kari, whose name is, I have it on the list, Tara Jane. She sounded almost exactly like the old voice actress, but more younger. So I feel that some of the voice cast that got switched out because they actually had the old voice for TK playing a new role in the film, and he's not playing TK. So I feel that they were trying to maybe make him sound a little bit younger, but the one cast of main characters that we did get and the one cast of Digimon, the old cast that stayed in, it was kind of almost like a little treat because you would hear some of the new cast, but I remember sitting in the theater watching, and as soon as Tentamon started talking, everybody went crazy and started clapping and went like, woo, yeah, and it's like, I like that. But for me, I like a lot of the voice cast, and if you follow the link below, we should have one, if not two, of the interviews from some of the voice cast coming up fairly shortly. So that's going to be fun. But any other thoughts on the film?
And I think this was the first time that Kari wasn't an annoying voice to me for some reason. It was less less whine on it and more to the point. Like,
yeah, but I think that might have been, and it might have not been the voice actress. It might have been the writing, because it's clear that the writing cast, which we give full credit to where credit's due, changing something from English to American can be hard, especially if this was a supposed kids show, and you have that responsibility of trying to make it more mature and everything like that. But sticking to the core of what it once was, that's hard. And I think that the people that directors and the writers for this actually did a really good job in conveying a lot of good and introducing new elements to the show that weren't there before. And so I think everybody, the whole cast did a fantastic job. Whole cast did a fantastic job. So, what are your final thoughts?
Great movie. I can't wait for the second one.
Mm-hmm.
Toei Animation. Hey, hats off to you. You brought Digimon back. It's officially back. It's on top.
Yeah.
It's on top.
Yeah, and let's hope they keep it up with the installment 2 and 3 that we know are coming out, and then possibly a 4 and 5 at some point. But yeah, fantastic job all around. Really, really good movie. It's worth it, especially I know, because my brother had a problem with this a while ago, where we sat down and watched the old Digimon, and he was like, "It's okay, but it didn't hold up as well as I remember it did as a kid." And this, I think he'll definitely enjoy, and I think a lot of people who maybe have gotten too old or kind of skewed from Digimon at certain points, I think this will bring them back, and they'll like it quite a lot more. So that's my final thoughts.
Yeah, and don't forget, we also have some fan interviews for after the movie that we did. So check that out. Links below.
Yeah, that was fun. Links below. And you can see the fans' reaction to it. So yeah, we've been hardcore the last couple days, weeks. We've been talking about Digimon. So, but yeah, that's pretty much my thoughts on the movie. That's our thoughts, I guess.
Yeah, our thoughts.
Yeah, it's our thoughts. But thanks everybody so much for tuning in. It's been a blast, and we will see you next time. Yeah, we're definitely doing this again. So.